See, last class one diagram I given, login and registration application. This is I given. Okay. In this application, homepage.html, login.html, reg.html, 3 HTML pages, 2 Servlets. So 2 Servlets and 1 XML file. Total 6 programs are there. 6 programs. Okay. Before going to this one, in previous programs, the execution process I'll explain. In previous programs, see, basics 8 programs you studied. 8 programs. Okay. These 8 programs you have seen. For these 8 programs, 1 XML file created. 1 XML file. Now, you take any Servlet you take. One example, say first Servlet. Now, the object creation order I'll explain. Note down. The object creation order. The object creation order by web container. The object creation order by web container. The object creation order by web container. First one, Servlet context. Second one, user defined Servlet. Third one, Servlet config. Fourth one, Servlet request and Servlet response. The object creation order by web container. The object creation order by web container. First one, Servlet context. Second one, user defined Servlet. Third one, Servlet config. Fourth one, Servlet request and Servlet response. The object creation order by web container. First one, Servlet context. Second one, user defined Servlet. Third one, Servlet config. Fourth one, Servlet request and Servlet response. The object creation order by web container. These all automatically created by web container for Servlets. The order I given, say, first Servlet context. Servlet context is created by web container whenever web application is deployed on server. Note down. Servlet context is created by web container whenever web application is deployed on server. Servlet context is created by web container whenever web application is deployed on server. Servlet context is created by web container whenever web application is deployed on server. See, Servlet context is created by web container whenever web application is deployed on server. Whenever you click on deploy button, then Servlet context created. But that Servlet context till we didn't use in a program. We didn't use. But every application, every web application, one context is created. Whenever you click on deploy button, Servlet context is created. That context, what is context? What is the purpose of context? How to use context? Till I didn't explain. But in previous programs, while deploying web application, it is created. It is created. Okay. Now, that is, you will see further. Next, user-defined servlet. User-defined servlet object is created by web container whenever first request comes to a servlet. User-defined servlet object is created by web container whenever first request comes to a servlet. User-defined servlet object is created by web container whenever first request comes to a servlet. Whenever very first request comes, then object created to user-defined servlet. Nothing but here, like a counter servlet, image servlet, MIME type servlet, annotation servlet, first servlet. This is called user-defined servlet. This object created by web container whenever first request comes to a servlet. But what is the purpose of this object? This is your sin. Give me answer. What is the purpose of this class object? Now, this first servlet is nothing but user-defined servlet. First servlet is nothing but user-defined servlet. This object is created by web container. When it is created, whenever first request comes to a servlet. What is the purpose of this object? To call life cycle methods. To call life cycle. So this service method, init method, destroy method called with this object only. Okay. User-defined servlet object is created by web container whenever first request comes to a servlet to call life cycle methods. Okay. That continuation, write it better. To call life cycle methods. To call life cycle methods. User-defined servlet object is created by web container whenever first request comes to a servlet to call life cycle methods. So life cycle methods are called with this object only. This object is created whenever first request comes to a servlet. So till we didn't use servlet context, but servlet context created in a program. We didn't use. What is the purpose of that one? I didn't explain. How to use? I didn't explain. But it is created. What is the purpose? How to use? Later we'll see. But this one, whenever first request comes, it is created. It is created. What purpose it is created? To call life cycle methods. Okay. Next, servlet config. Servlet config is created by web container whenever init method is called. Servlet config is created by web container whenever init method is called. Servlet config is created by web container whenever init method is called. Servlet config is created by web container whenever init method is called. When init method is going to be called? It is also first request time only. Whenever first request comes, init method called, then config created. But what is the purpose of config? I didn't explain. How to use config? I didn't explain. That is in further sessions. Next. Servlet request and servlet response. Servlet request and servlet response are created by web container. Servlet request and servlet response are created by web container whenever service method is called. Servlet request and servlet response are created by web container whenever service method is called. When service method is called? When service method is called? For every request. Every request, servlet request, servlet response. Service method called. Every request it is created. You have seen already servlet response. What purpose we used servlet response? What purpose we used servlet response? To call, to create streams, print writer, servlet output stream. These two we created with response only, no? Response dot get writer. Then we got a print writer. Response dot get output stream. We got a servlet output stream. So to create streams, we used this one. But till we didn't use servlet request. Okay. Now I'll ask some questions. Give me answer. See, when config is called, when config is created, whenever init method is called. When init method is called, whenever first request comes to a servlet. Servlet request, servlet response when it is created. For whenever service method is called. When service method is called, every request. Okay. Now I'll ask one question. Give me answer based on these all. One web application having 8 servlets. Okay. One web application having 8 servlets. One web application having 8 servlets. These 8 servlets, total 1000 requests came. Total 1000 requests. One servlet, maybe 100 requests, one servlet, maybe 200 requests. At last, total 1000 requests came. Okay. One web application having 8 servlets. Example, basics. Basics is a web application. In that 8 servlets we written, like suppose 1000 requests came. One servlet, maybe 100 requests, one servlet, maybe 200 requests, one servlet, maybe 500. At last, total requests, 1000. Now, how many servlet contexts created? How many servlet contexts created? How many? One. One only created. I given see. When servlet context created? Whenever web application is deployed. So here how many web application? One. So one context created. Only one context created for entire application. Okay. Next user next after servlet context, what you have seen? User defined servlet. User defined servlet object when it is created, whenever first request comes to a servlet. Whenever first request comes. Here total how many servlets are there? 8. So how many created? 8 user defined servlet objects created. Now servlet config, when it is created, whenever first request comes. So whenever init method is called whenever first request comes. So how many configs created? 8 configs created. Okay. Servlet request and servlet response are created by web container for whenever service method called. When service method called? Every request. That means here, how many created? 1000 requests created, 1000 responses created. 1000. So 1000 pairs created. Servlet request, servlet response is created by web container whenever service method is called. Service method is called for every request. So here 1000 requests mean 1000 pairs created. Okay. See, in this web application, you observe here. Suppose here, if I deploy this application, one context created. Whenever first request comes, user defined servlet object created. At the same time, init method called. At the same time, servlet config called. And after that, service method called, servlet request, servlet response. Second request onwards, only servlet request, servlet response. Okay. Very first time, what will happen? This object created. With this object, in this class, init method called. And here, because we don't have init method here, then it will search in superclass. That is only runtime polymorphism. The method is present in subclass method called. The method is not present in subclass, superclass method called. So binding done later. That is only runtime polymorphism, dynamic polymorphism you studied in core Java. Okay. Now, here, first servlet object created. After creating object, it will search for init method. Init method is not there. Then it will search in superclass. In superclass, init method is there. That init method called. That init method parameter is servlet config. Then created. After that, service method called. That service method parameters are request and response. These two created. When second request comes, only service called. Then again request response created. Like that. Okay. But in previous programs, we used this one. Okay. We didn't use context. We didn't use config. We didn't use request. Okay. In previous all programs, only user defined servlet response. These two we used. User defined servlet object is created by web container to call lifecycle methods. Okay. Servlet response is created by web container to create a stream to send response to a browser. That is get writer method, get output stream method, two methods we called with this servlet response only. Okay. And we used it in the program this one. We didn't use this one. We didn't use this one. We didn't use this one. These three required in this application. 3 required. Servlet request also required, config also required, context also required. Okay. Now, where we use config, where we use context, where we use this one, I'll explain. Listen with concentration. Listen. It is the most important only. Now, here, config we didn't use. Context we didn't use. Request we didn't use. These three we didn't use. Okay. Now, in this application, we required. While teaching these two servlets, I'll show you about that. Okay. Present, this application diagram, everything I given. Okay. Now, first 3 HTML program we'll see. HTML programs. Say file, new, dynamic web project. Say file, new, dynamic web project. Another project I'm taking. Say Here, for example, login. For example, login. Suppose while running a program, if you are getting it is not valid module, if you are getting that error, if you are getting it is not within the module or not valid in this module like that. Okay. At the time, here you observe dynamic web module version 5.0. Listen. 5.0. It is if 6.0 is there, you may get that error. That is compatibility, version compatibility required. Now, here, dynamic web module version, select 5.0. Okay. If you are getting the selected Servlet or selected application not within a valid module, if you are getting error, just you select here 5.0. Okay. Now, login dynamic web project. Say one new project I'm creating, dynamic web project. Now, next button, next, here, generate web.xml deployment descriptor. If you select this one, web.xml generated. If you want to use annotations, no need to select. If you want to use annotations. Now, here, in this application, I'm going to teach about Servlet request, about Servlet config, about Servlet context. These three I'm going to explain. That's what XML also required. XML I'm going to select. Generate web.xml deployment descriptor. After that, click on finish button. Now, it is over. See, here, now these three HTML programs we'll see first. Right click, new HTML file. Okay. Here, homepage.html. Homepage.html. Okay. Next, finish. Now, like this, by default, these all tags comes. Present, we don't require this one. We don't require header part. I'll remove. Now you observe this HTML. Output should be welcome to Naresh Technologies and 2 hyperlinks. Okay, this is our requirement. Okay, homepage.html program we are writing. This output should be displayed. See, welcome to Naresh Technologies. Here, login hyperlink, registration hyperlink. Let us written. Now, this is our requirement. Output should be welcome to Naresh Technologies, login, registration. Like this required. Okay. Here, login and registration both are hyperlinks. Hyperlinks means one anchor tag we have to write. A tag. A open, A close. Okay. Here, again, A open, A close. It is called anchor tag. Login, if you click, hyperlink reference you have to write. href equal to. Now, when you click on login hyperlink, login.html should be executed. Registration hyperlink, reg.html should be executed. So, hyperlink reference equal to login.html. Here, hyperlink reference equal to registration.html. Like this. So, if you write login between A tags that is created as a hyperlink, when you click, this program executed. Registration, when you click, this program executed. So, login hyperlink, if you click, login.html, registration hyperlink, reg.html. These two are given hyperlink references. Okay. Suppose this content, welcome to Naresh Technologies, big size letters if you want. Level 1 heading. Level 1 heading like this. Okay. The background color, foreground color, if you want to add, here, BG color attribute. Suppose yellow. Text color, red. Now, The total background is yellow color displayed. Text is red color displayed. Okay. Now, now same. I'll run this program. Up to here you observe. Right click. Run on server. Save. Select the server. Next. Finish. Here I'll type homepage.html. See, welcome to Naresh Rai Technologies login registration. Now this total content I want center. So I'll go for center tag. Center open, center close. Otherwise you can use CSS also. Center open, center close. After this line, it should be next line required. For that, line break, BR. Say HTML, you are writing HTML program, first HTML open, HTML close required. In that HTML, two sections will be there, header and body. So body part we are writing, body open, body close. Background color, BG color attribute. Background color, yellow color I given. Text color, red color I given. So total background color, yellow color displayed. Text color, red color displayed. And total content is centered. Total content is centered. And welcome to Naresh Rai Technologies displayed with level 1 heading text. Level 1 heading, big size letters. Like that, total 6 levels are there. Hyperlink created this one. It is also. When you click, this program executed. When you click, this program executed. Here, break, line break, next line. See, if I run this program again, here, suppose while executing Servlet program also, if you type here URL pattern also, you are getting not found. Then 10 plus reasons will be there. You have to check. Okay. Your program you have to check, URL pattern you have to check, configuration you have to check, so many things will be there. Now, here homepage.html. See, welcome to Naresh Rai Technologies login registration. Okay. See, what I given, just you observe. Here, PG color yellow, text color red. So, like this, background color yellow, text color red. Hyperlink by default blue color comes. Okay. Now, like this, BG color yellow I given. That's what background color yellow. Text color red I given. That's what text color red. See, this is a red color. After that, total content center I given. Center alignment. So that's what this content is centered. Next, here level 1 heading H1. So it is big size letters. And these are hyperlinks created. When you click, this program executed. When you click, this program executed. These two, next line I given, line break. That's what next line displayed. If I click, say not found. Login.html not found. Till we didn't write. That's what not found. Even here, registration not found. We didn't write these two. Okay. This is one HTML program. Write this program, homepage.html. 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 Note write this one. Is it over? It is just HTML. Okay. Here PG color. This is for background color. PG color attribute to specify the background color. Text attribute to specify the text color. Nothing but foreground. It is background, it is foreground. Okay. PG color attribute to specify the background color we use. Text attribute to specify the text color, foreground color. Center tag, center alignment purpose. H1 tag, level 1 heading. This text displayed with level 1 heading text. Okay. Now, this A tag, anchor tag for hyperlink purpose. When you click, this program should be executed. This is called hyperlink reference, href. Now, registration, when you click reg.html, between these two hyperlink, line break, next line. It is open tag only we can write, no need to write close tag. It is only open tag. It doesn't require close tag. Now, this is about HTML. This HTML is not much important, but this HTML is important. This HTML important because these two required for servlets. These two required for servlets. It is important. Now, whatever we are going to write next HTML program, it is required for servlet. Listen with more concentration. Servlet related concept also will be there in that HTML. That HTML important. Okay. Now, here, this is homepage.html. Now, when you click on this hyperlink, this program executed. When you click on this hyperlink, this program executed. Now, first I'll write reg.html. Say, right click, new, here, HTML. Here, reg.html. reg.html, next. Finish. Now, here, I'll remove this one. I'll remove this one. Here. Here, first, this heading I want to display. Okay. For this one also, you can set background color, text color. You can set. If you want to set background color, which attribute? BG color. BG color equal to some color, cyan. Text color, suppose red. Okay. Now, background color, text color, I specified for this. This total content I want center. We can use center tag. Center open, center close. Here, registration form with level 1 heading, underline text required. Suppose H1 and U. Now, registration form. Okay, registration form. Here, registration form created with underline tags, with underline and level 1 heading text. Total content centered. After this, here we required first name, last name, username, password, these 4 boxes, submit, reset. These all required. These all if you want to write, form tags required. Form tags. See, form open, form close. In between we ought write form open, form close. See, first name and here input type equal to text, then text box created. Last name, input type equal to text, again one more box created. Username, input type equal to text, text box created. Password, input type equal to password, then password box created. It will display only stars. Text is not displayed. Okay. See, here this program is related to servlet, required for servlet. So listen with concentration. Here so many concepts are there. I'll explain. Servlet related concepts also are there. I'll explain. Here, first name, last name, username, password. These are just labels. Here, 4 boxes. These 3 text boxes, this is password box. That is created. After creating, input type equal to submit. Then submit button created. Now, input type equal to reset. Reset button created. Now, you observe. Up to here, you observe. If I execute, see what I given: first name, last name, username, password. These 4 just labels. Now, 3 text boxes created, text field. This is password box. It is submit button. It is reset button. Now, if I run, say right click, run on server, save. Here, homepage.html. Homepage.html. This is open. If I click registration, that is created. Okay. These all next line required. Next line. Which tag we have tried? BR, line break. Here line break. Here also one line break. Here also one line break. Here also one line break. Okay, these 2 leave it. Now, in the same line, say again I'll run. Run on server. Save. See. Homepage.html. See if I click registration, that is displayed. Now, here what will happen, just you observe. Back. Homepage.html, this is homepage.html. Okay. Now, say welcome to Naresh Technologies login registration. When you click on login, login.html. When you click on registration, registration.html. That information I written here. Login, if we click login.html, hyperlink reference. Registration, if I click reg.html. Okay. Login, if I click login.html. Registration, if I click reg.html. That's what it is going to execute. Registration here. But after typing here first name, last name, username, password, when you click on submit button, Servlet program should be executed. This Servlet program should be executed. For that, submit button, reset button, default functionality available in HTML. When you click, automatically executed. Submit, reset. But whenever you click on submit button, in a form tag, action attribute executed. Action attribute. Action equal to Servlet URL pattern, you are right. See, whenever you click on this submit button, this Servlet should be executed. This Servlet URL pattern, we are right, action equal to, see, action equal to reg. Suppose this is written here. This one we are right for Servlet web.xml URL pattern. Okay. Reg is a URL pattern of registration Servlet. When I click on submit button, this is automatically executed. And here you observe. Here, like this, you'll enter. Like this, you'll get the data. Now, this is just a label. Suppose if I don't display this one, in this box, what you have to enter, how user will understand. That's what one label. So without this one also it works, possible. But then 4 boxes displayed. This box, what purpose? This box, what purpose? User cannot understand. That is the reason labels required. This box label is first name. This box label is last name. This box label is username. This box label is password. But here you'll type some first name, last name, username, password. You are going to type. These all we are going to receive in Servlet. From this box, whatever you received, that is first name. From this box, whatever you received, last name. For understanding purpose, every box, one name you have to write. Every box, one name we have to write. Here, name of the box, something F name. Here, name of the box, something L name. Again, these names must match in a Servlet. U name. Here, something P word. Suppose here name equal to P word I written, but in the Servlet program, name equal to password if I write, then program successfully compiled, successfully executed, you will get a blank page. Then what is the error also you cannot identify. Okay, this all you have to take care. I'll give notes about this. Here, F name, L name, U name, P word. Whatever I given here, these names must match in Servlet program. That notes also I'll give. Now you observe. Now I'll run this program once again. Just you observe. Right click, run on server, save. Server is selected. Next, finish. Here, homepage.html. Here, if I click registration, like this, after that, I'll type first name, I'll type username, I'll type last name, I'll type password. When I click on submit button, what will happen? See here, submit button. If you click, the value of action attribute executed in form tag, that mechanism already inbuilt. Now, if I click submit button, reg appears in address bar. See here, reg. Okay, reg. It is the URL pattern of Servlet. That Servlet not found because we didn't write. After writing, that is executed. But you observe F name, L name, U name, P word, and values also whatever I given displayed. Will it display in real time? Your password is displayed in address bar? No. Okay. Here there are 7 HTTP methods are there. If you don't write HTTP methods, by default HTTP method get method working. One mechanism working. That method we have to change. I'll give notes, everything I'll give notes. First listen. Now here method equal to, we have to write post. Then it will not display. You observe. Right click, run on server, save. Now homepage.html. Here, registration, see first name, last name, username, password. If I click on submit button, you observe, is it displayed now? No. There are 7 HTTP methods are there. 7 HTTP methods. In that, by default, get method is working. Say here 3 members, there 3 members not listening class. You 3 members, there 3 members. Continuously I'm observing. It is related to Servlet. Otherwise, you cannot understand Servlet program. Again, you will bring the laptop. That will be happen. Even 3 times, 4 times repeatedly, if I explain also, some people are not understanding. If you don't listen, attending class is wasted. Here 3 members, there 3 members, 6 members, continuously observe. Sometimes you are using mobile. Sometimes you are discussing. That is absurd. Then attending class is waste. Here already many people are absent, you observe. Like that, you attending also wasted. Equal to those people only. At least they are better. They are enjoying outside. But you are sitting in a class, you are not enjoying, you are not getting subject. Then both wasted. At least they are those who are absent, at least they are enjoying outside. Okay. But here forcibly, if you sit also, no use. See, it is related to Servlet. That's what I'm saying. Again, Servlet time, you'll get a doubt. See, here. Here, submit button, reset button. By default, functionality is there. Submit button, reset button, default functionality available. Submit button, no need to write any code. By default works. Reset button, by default works. So, whenever you click on submit button, the value of action attribute in a form tag executed. So, here, if you click this button, this is executed. This is action attribute value in a form tag. Here, if you write URL pattern of Servlet, then Servlet program executed. If you write JSP file name, JSP program executed. If you write any other MVC framework related application, that is also executed. So here, whenever submit button is clicked, the value of action attribute in a form tag executed. That notes I'll give. If you don't write anything here, by default, HTTP method, get method working. There are 7 HTTP methods are there. 7 HTTP methods. By default, get method works. In a get method, what will happen? Whatever you are typing in boxes, that information displayed in address bar. But if you write method equal to post here, it will not display. It will be hidden. And whenever you click on reset button, all fields data erased. Whatever you are writing, F name, L name, U name, P word, these are called request parameter names. These request parameters names must match in a Servlet program. If it is not matched, you will get a blank page. If you are getting blank page, means that is your mistake only. So whenever error comes, whenever blank page comes, don't bring that program to me. You check it yourself. That is your mistake only. Okay. If you get a blank screen, that is your typing mistake or this variable names mistake. Request parameter names mistake only. Okay. So that blank screen also they are attaching to my mail ID. They are sending mail. Then how can I give answer? Think yourself. Yesterday also I given nearly 40-50 mails. But not your batch. Your batch, this is now started. Other people, other batches students. If this error, resource not found 404 comes, no, that screen also they'll attach. Then how can I give answer? Think yourself. Resource not found. 10 plus reasons will be there. 10 plus reasons. And a blank page. Blank page also they'll attach to my mail ID. Seeing that blank page, how can I give answer? Think yourself. That type also they're sending. So that's what, if you listen with concentration, no need to know, you will not get any doubt. If you listen with concentration, even if you get an error also, you can solve yourself. That is possible. That's what, listen. Here. See, previous 8 programs, almost same style is there. No? It is somewhat different. No? That's what you have to listen. Here. Whenever submit button is clicked, this notes I'll give, but first listen. Whenever submit button is clicked, the value of action attribute executed in a form tag. Okay. Here, whatever you write, that is going to be executed. Present, what we written is URL pattern of registration Servlet I written. So whenever you click on this button, registration Servlet is going to be executed. Okay. Whenever you click on reset button, these all fields data erased. If we don't write this one, it is displayed in address bar. Say, right click, run on server, save. Here, homepage.html. Save. If you click registration, registration.html, say, now here, whatever you type here, we have to pass to Servlet. When you click on submit button, say reg, URL pattern of registration Servlet executed. After writing registration Servlet, this error will not come. Okay. After writing registration Servlet, but control is passed to registration Servlet. With this, you can understand. Now, here, when I click reset button, These all fields data erased. See, whatever you type here, that data erased. That data erased. These three text boxes, it is password box. That's what stars displayed. Okay. If you click reset, data erased. Whatever you are typing here, this should be passed to Servlet. When you click on submit button, Servlet executed. Then Servlet is going to receive that data. The data not displayed in address bar because post method I used. There are 7 HTTP methods are there. I have to explain. Now, these 4 requests, these 4 labels. For this one name I given. F name, L name, U name, P word. These all not displayed in browser window. Those are required for Servlets. Those are called request parameter names. These are called request parameter values. And submit button, reset button by default works. Suppose if you write input type equal to button, then also button created. Say previously what is displayed? Submit query. Okay. There's some browser submit query comes, some browser submit comes. Now, if I run this program again, you see, I written now input type equal to button. One button created. Now also button created. But this button doesn't work. See, if I click, here button created. This button, if you click, it doesn't work. And suppose you observe input type equal to button, value equal to submit query. I'll write submit query. I'll write space is there, double quotes required, space is not there, double quote not compulsory. Now what will happen? See, on button submit query appears, but it is not submit button. See, here, see, it is same like a submit button appears, but it is not submit button. It is normal button. If I click, see, it is not working. It is not working. It is normal button. Submit button only default functionality available. So here, input type equal to submit your write. Then submit button created. Then label no need to write. By default submit query comes. See, see, if I click registration, now if I click, see, it is executed. So previous one is different, now one is different. So now this is called submit button. The previous one is normal button. Now about this, about this, about this, about this, about these all, I have to give a notes. Again, I have to explain. First you write this one, reg.html. 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 Over. It is HTTP method. HTTP method. It is URL pattern of registration solid. URL pattern of registration solid. These are called request parameter names. Request parameter names. These are labels. So method equal to post. That is nothing but HTTP method. Like that, 7 HTTP methods are there. I'll give notes. REG is a URL pattern of registration solid. F name, L name, U name, P word. These are called request parameter names. These 4 are called labels. Now, F name, L name, U name, P word. Is it displayed in browser window? No. But first name, last name, username, password. This is displayed. It is just labels. User purpose. Otherwise, only 4 boxes displayed. In first box, what he has to enter. Second box, what he has to enter. He should understand that purpose label. That purpose label. Okay. F name, L name, U name, P word, Servlet programmer purpose. Nothing but Java programmer purpose required this information. This is not displayed in browser window. Okay. It is not displayed. It is required for Servlet program. It is required for Java programmer. This information. Okay. This is called HTTP method. It is called URL pattern of registration solid. These are called request parameter names. These are called labels. Okay. Whatever you are going to type, request parameter values. Now, is it over? No done. There are 7 HTTP methods. There are 7 HTTP methods. First one, get. Second one, post. Third one, head. Fourth one, put. Fifth one, delete. Sixth one, options. Seventh one, trace. There are 7 HTTP methods. Get, post, head, put, delete, options, trace. It is default. It is default. 7 HTTP methods. Get is default. Get is default. If you don't write any HTTP method, then get works. That is default. In 7 HTTP methods, we are going to use only 2, get and post. Remaining 5 not required. We are not using. Only get method, post method required in real time. What's the difference between get and post also interview question? I'll explain. See, get, post. 2 methods are there. 7 methods are there. 5 not in use. Only 2 required. Get and post. Get is a default. If you don't write anything, by default get works. By default get. If you write a post, then only post. If you don't write anything, that is get only. Get no need to write by us. By default is get. There are 7 HTTP methods. Okay. See here, method equal to post. Now post method is working. If you don't write anything, which method is working? Get. But method equal to get, no need to write. No need to write. Default is get. And it is not compulsory to write capital letter. Small also you can write, capital also you can write, mixed also you can write. Okay. Even not only here. Suppose here also, suppose here U tag, it is capital. Here small, it is also valid. And here small, here capital, also valid. And one letter is capital, one letter is small, like that also valid. HTML is not a case sensitive. HTML case insensitive. Any style you can write. No error, no exception, no logic. Okay. Now, here, if you don't write any method, method equal to get works. Method equal to post if you write, then post works. But what is the difference between get and post? Many differences are there. I have to give a notes. First of all, one difference you can observe. That is I have shown. See, now which method working? Get. Get method working. You observe. See, homepage.html registration, like first name, last name, username, password. When I click submit, see here. Here, what is REG? URL pattern of registration Servlet. F name, L name, U name, P word. What are these? Request parameter names. This triple A, these are request parameter values. Say like this displayed. If you use get, by default get, by default get. If you use get like this displayed, then what will happen? Other people can see your password. Okay. That's what I'll make it post. Method equal to post. If the data is confidential, then you have to write post. The data is not confidential, get. But post also you can use if it is not confidential. That's what's the difference required? Get and post. Method equal to post. Now, request parameters not displayed now. You see. Homepage.html. See if I click here. See if I click here, not displayed. One difference you observed. Okay, one difference you observed. Whatever you write here in these boxes, all are displayed if it is get. If it is post, not displayed. Okay. Now, data is confidential, like password, PIN numbers, security code, mobile PIN number, MPIN, these all. In that situation, compulsory you are right, post only. Post only you are right. But data is not confidential. In that also you can use post. That's what. What's the difference between get and post? Complete information required. Now data is not confidential. Then also you can use post. Then also you can use post. Then get also okay, post also okay. But what exactly, how many difference are, what are the difference are there? This information required for interview purpose also. What's the difference between get and post also? They'll ask in interview. Okay. I have to teach. Not completed. I have to teach. After this submit button, reset button, these two buttons by default works. So that information note on. Note. Default functionality available for submit and reset buttons only. Default functionality available for submit and reset buttons only. Default functionality available for submit and reset buttons only. So submit button by default works. No need to write any code. Reset button by default works. No need to write any code. But yourself, if you write any other button, that code we have to write. But submit, reset by default works. Next, write it. The value of action attribute. The value of action attribute is executed in a form tag whenever submit button is clicked. The value of action attribute is executed in a form tag whenever submit button is clicked. The value of action attribute is executed in a form tag whenever submit button is clicked. The value of action attribute is executed in a form tag whenever submit button is clicked. If we click on submit button, the value of action attribute executed. Value what I written? URL pattern of Servlet. Then Servlet executed. Okay. Next. All form fields data. All form fields data erased whenever reset button is clicked. All form fields data erased whenever reset button is clicked. All form fields data erased whenever reset button is clicked. Say, if you write like this, input type equal to submit. This is called submit button. Suppose input type equal to button, like a value equal to submit. If you write, then also submit only appears, but it is not a submit button. It is normal button. Button label only submit, but it is not a submit button. It appears like a submit button, but if you click, doesn't work. So input type equal to submit is there. That button functionality inbuilt. But if you write like this button will not work. If you want to write that button functionality, you have to use JavaScript. Okay. JavaScript required for that. So this is called submit button. This is not called submit button. Okay. You have seen already. See, if I write here, input type equal to submit, you are getting submit query. That is different browser, different may appears. Suppose I'll change the browser, you observe. Web browser, Microsoft Edge. I'll run. See, homepage.html, here registration. See what you are getting here? Submit. But there what we got it? submit query, but here submit. So that is the browser dependent. HTML browser dependent tags also are there in HTML. So it is browser dependent. Here submit appearing, there submit query appearing. But with this both are submit buttons only. Both are submit buttons only. Suppose in a program, if you write like this, input type equal to button, value equal to submit. If you write, then also output like this only displayed. Say, now what I written in the program, input type equal to submit I written. Like this appearing. Like this appearing. If I click, it is executed. But suppose if I write like this, same appears, but not executed. That is normal button. Okay. So here. Now you observe here input type equal to text, then text box created. Input type equal to password, then password box created. Like this only, many attributes are there for type tag, type attribute. Input type equal to checkbox if you write, checkbox created. Input type equal to radio if you write, radio button created. Like that, so many are there. Okay, you can write a number of so many form fields are there. Now present I used only two boxes, text box, password box. Okay. Now here registration page, according to your requirement, you can create a number of. Writing program is same. Now here F name, L name, U name, P word. What are these? Request parameter names. These all request parameter names. First name, last name, username, password. What are these? Labels. Okay. These four must match in Servlet program. Must match in Servlet program. See, whenever you click on this button, the value of action attribute in a form tag executed. That means Servlet program executed. Whenever you click on reset button, whatever you entered in these boxes, all fields data erased. Erased. Okay. And whenever you click on submit button, Servlet is going to be executed. HTML to Servlet, request passed. Request passed, that is post type request passed. If you don't write anything, get type request passed. So here now further what we have to do, whether get type request coming or post type request coming also important for Servlet program. That is the reason HTTP Servlet concept required for next. Okay. Now it is post type request coming to registration Servlet. This is about registration Servlet. Now one more login.html. Registration Servlet not completed. Registration.html. Now this HTML. This HTML also almost the same, except first name, last name here same. Okay. Now same program. I'll copy. Here right click, new HTML. Login.html. Here I'll paste. Here what I'll do, see, registration form place login form. Here action login. Here also password is there. So post. First name, last name not required. I'll remove. Okay. This is login.html. Okay. See, here right click, run on server, save, select. Here homepage.html, like this. Now login, say login form, back registration form. Okay, like this. Login form. Year, whatever you entered. Okay, year, whatever you entered, something, if you click on submit button, here login solid URL pattern. Okay. Now this program also almost same. Write this program. Login.html. Over. Here post. What is post? What is post? HTTP method. HTTP method. What is login? URL pattern of login solid. What is uname and pivot? Request parameter names. Request parameter names. Okay. Username, password, labels. Username, password, labels. Okay. Username, password, it is displayed in browser window. That is for end user purpose only, not for Servlet programmer. But request parameter names required for Servlet programmer. Because in software companies, if you join as a Java programmer, HTML other people will write. Your duty only is writing Servlet program like. If you join as a full stack Java developer, everything you have to take care. Full stack Java, core only Java. Lot of difference is there. First class in core Java class I explained. What's the difference between full stack Java developer like that? Java. That information I given first class. So suppose if you join as a full stack Java developer, then each and everything you have to take care. HTML also your duty, Oracle also your duty, and testing also your duty, writing Java program also your duty. Okay. But if you join as a Java programmer, then HTML one more person will write. Oracle database designing one more person will be there. So 5 members role separate will be there. Okay. One person is called Java programmer. One more person database designer. One more person UI developer, user interface developer. One more person tester. One more person deployer. These 5 members role one person is doing means that person is called full stack Java developer. That is full stack Java course. This is. Okay. Is it over? So method equal to post. It is HTTP method. Here login, URL pattern of login Servlet. Username, uname, keyword, request parameter names, username, password, labels. Okay. Now, whenever you click on the submit button, what is executed? Value of action attribute in a form tag executed. Here, what I written value? Login. What is login? URL pattern of login Servlet. So login Servlet is going to be executed. See, previously what you have seen, we typed URL pattern in address bar. Now you are not typing. When you click, this URL pattern automatically comes in address bar. So sending request, not only typing URL in address bar, with button click also request passed. With hyperlink click also request passed. See, very first time what we are doing here, we are typing. See, very first time we are typing in address bar. Next time we are not typing. See, very first time we are typing homepage.html. Suppose I want login.html. We are going to click only. Then login.html comes here. Here, next is Servlet required. Next Servlet required. When you click, Servlet comes. URL pattern. So, by typing URL in address bar, also request password to server. By clicking on hyperlink, also request password to server. By clicking on submit button, also request password to server. So, sending request to server many ways. You can type total URL in address bar. That is one way. One more way, click on hyperlinks. One more way, click on submit buttons. One more way, refresh button. One more way, back button, forward button also request password. So these all will be done automatically. Okay. These functionalities already given by browser vendor. Whoever developed browser, those people already given that functionality. With your coding, you are extending the functionality of browser. With your coding. Browser itself, it will provide some services. Those services you can extend by using your programs. Okay. This is about HTML pages 1, 2, 3. These 3 HTML completed. Now, for writing these servlets, first you should know what is the difference between get and post. And also you should know what's the difference between generic servlet, HTTP servlet. Then we can write program. So tomorrow I'll explain get versus post. I'll explain generic servlet versus HTTP servlet. After that, these programs we'll see. Okay. We'll see continuation tomorrow.